Hello and welcome into Live with Lighthouse, episode 25. You have found the show where we guide you to the technology, talent, and marketing solutions to drive your business forward. I'm your host, Joe Ray, and really excited to bring you this week's episode with my friend Rachel Eastlack from TechBuffalo. Rachel's working on a ton of great community impact programs, helping to bring technology to different communities, different parts of our city here in Buffalo. And she's really at the center of a lot of interesting conversations in our community and a lot of impactful initiatives that are coming to town to help foster creativity through tech and familiarity with the tech industry as we go. So really excited for this conversation. Thanks for tuning in. Let's get to the show. Hey, Rachel, how's it going? So glad to have you back on Live with Lighthouse.
Hi, Joe. Thank you so much for having me. I am so happy to be here.
Yeah, repeat guest coming back and so excited to catch up and hear what's new with TechBuffalo in the new year here. Maybe for folks who didn't get to see your first episode, could you just give a little reintroduction to who you are, what you do, and what TechBuffalo does?
Absolutely. So my name is Rachel Eastlack, and I am the Community Impact Program Lead with TechBuffalo. And TechBuffalo is a nonprofit organization that works to create a sustainable, inclusive, and accessible technology community for the Western New York community by improving our region's ability to attract, retain, and foster tech talent. So there's a lot that goes into that, but on the community side, I love to work with anybody from a pivoting professional to someone who's brand new to the tech field and really wanting to explore what options they have, to those looking into training. So it's a really great sphere of individuals that I get to work with, and I really love the role within TechBuffalo.
Yeah, I imagine you get to be really wide reaching and work with a lot of different people kind of throughout the city. Just curious within that too, what part of your work kind of inspires you the most?
Yeah, so definitely working with community. I'm formerly a social worker, so it's really big for me to have that community facing role. I love, working on interpersonal relationships, but also really making sure that we're able to look outside of that typical scope of work and workforce development, but really starting to ask community members what they need most to really make an impact. And then as well as having TechBuffalo connect with so many different community organizations, groups, sites, just those that are really able to be on the ground doing the work day in, day out. And so being able to connect with them and elevate their missions and things that they have going on has been a really, really special part of the role.
Nice. I love that. That's a really great opportunity to just be able to ask, how can I help you? What do you need right now?
Right.
What can we help you find? Really cool
Yes.
opportunity. And naturally that's going to lead to a ton of different initiatives and community conversations that you're a part of and that Tech Buffalo is a part of throughout the community. And if you just want to share the floor, if you wanted to kind of just outline some things that are ahead for 2024 with Tech Buffalo.
Absolutely. And you nailed it. Community conversations is a big one. We piloted those last year and we got a lot of really great feedback on, what more community members are looking for, topics of discussion. And so we will be focusing again on community conversations throughout the year, really trying to highlight that integration of technology across every industry. We really don't want people to think, oh, I don't work with tech. I don't come across tech, because you do. It's in the general community. It's in our day-to-day life. So we're really hoping to seek that gap between the perception and the reality and showcasing how technology is a part of our daily lives and our professional environment. So our key topics there this year will be focusing on health. We actually have our first community conversation that will be focusing on the intersection between tech and community-based healthcare. So we're really excited for that. We'll also be looking at entertainment, tourism, business, a lot of different topics across the year. And really, really looking forward to engaging with as many community members as we can, and also as many different organizations that we can, whether that is, hosting a community conversation, having somebody from your organization join our panel. We're really hitting the ground running with those initiatives coming up in 2024.
Nice. And that's a really great point of emphasis there too, Rachel, that every job is becoming a technology job these days, whether it's
Absolutely.
certain tools that you use or just kind of programs that companies are using to really drive development and innovation, whatnot. Technology is everywhere. So it's a really crucial part. And the community conversations are really good too, because that's a great way to highlight Buffalo really is a city that's built on a lot of these types of industries, like you mentioned, healthcare right there. Manufacturing, I imagine, is another too. These industries that aren't
Yeah.
necessarily you never think of them specifically as tech companies, but there is a lot of technology within there. So who are the people that are coming to those conversations and what are really the connections that are being made there and need to be made there?
So we honestly have everyone on the panelist side from, CIOs to those that are maybe within their first year in the role, to those that have been incorporated in different trainings and opportunities with some of our tech trainers. And we're really focusing on getting panelists kind of from every stage, right? So showing that progress as somebody who comes into tech and, really what are the capabilities from there. Audience wise, we have it open to absolutely anyone and everyone. We encourage, any audience member to come out. It doesn't matter, like I said, if you really don't think that you necessarily have a role in tech, come out and hear the conversation. We could end up talking about something, that really does intrigue you, and then you end up learning that there are several different tech roles, aligned with that. So I say come on out with an open mind, ready to have information for you, but also ready to have a conversation within the community that asks those more specific questions while also making sure that we are able to open the conversation and really hear from our panelists and our professionals as well as our community members that will be joining us.
Thanks, Rachel. Yeah, I love what you said in there too, that really everybody who can come and attend those conversations has something unique to contribute, right? You mentioned a little bit
Absolutely.
your background in social work when we were chatting there. My background, I got into tech after working in sports and education and just
Yeah.
completely different industries. And those transferable skills are a really great thing, right? It's so cool to see how people are able to bring that unique perspective, some skills from other industries to make the connections and make the change that we're looking for in this industry. So it's really cool to see and really excited to see where community conversations go this year. So thanks for kind of previewing that a little bit.
Thank you. We're really excited, and we hope to, like I said, have those every other month. So keep an eye out. We will make sure that we post them. We make sure we get our topics out in advance so you can come prepared with your questions. It'll be a really great time.
Really appreciate you sharing a little bit about those community conversations there and really looking forward to how that's gonna be able to bring a lot of different people together, Rachel, from different backgrounds. Really excited to shift gears too into talking about another initiative that Tech Buffalo's bringing here. It's the Microsoft TechSpark program. I think you had the first event to kick that off in January, if I remember right.
So actually, that was now in November. I can't
Oh my
already believe
gosh,
that. That was November of 2023. We had Tech
time
Connect.
flies.
Yes, we actually welcomed Microsoft professionals came to our community, and we had a great partnership, a great day of events really slated out for local nonprofits. We were able to work with them through a lot of different tools and resources that they have ready to go for nonprofits. But just to back up a little bit,
Yeah.
yes, Tech Buffalo was selected to be a fellow in the Microsoft TechSpark program back in 2023. So 2024 is really our pilot year where we're starting to look at some of those initiatives and programs that we're excited to start. And our biggest one at this point will be Family Code Night. So we are really looking forward to start having some paired learning opportunities where we'll invite one youth and one adult. You do not need to be, actually related to one another, but we are calling them family code nights. We know family is open to so many different people and what that definition means, but we're really looking forward to having, like I said, one adult, one youth join us for the evening where we actually will go through basic Minecraft education coding. And so you really can learn a basic level of coding while also looking at different elements of what goes into these roles, what are potential, some careers. We have conversations, of course, with the youth. And again, we'll be hosting that with a partner site. So we actually have our first one coming up in March, and we will be hosting that with the prenatal, perinatal fatherhood initiatives program. And we're really excited to get started. It'll be hosted over at Northland also. So we have a lot of space and a lot of really great different organizations, community members coming together to make this possible. But a big part of that is also going to be making sure that we're able to set up any adult learners with the Microsoft LinkedIn learning pathways that are some really incredible free tools, free skilling. So even if you're already working in these roles, taking these certificates, upskilling, really being able to hone in on more of those skills, whether that's soft skills or even myself, I'm taking, the project management. Like, this is really exciting and things that can really help navigate when it's coming to career fields, what you're interested in. So we will make sure that we also link all of the adults with that. We also will be having our local tech trainers there, so they're able to table and answer more questions about, the specific programs that they have coming up. But we're really hoping that we can really start showing, those that have been excluded from the tech community in Western New York, really different pathways to get there, like I said, and to get involved, to start sparking that curiosity, to maybe start then linking up to some of our free local trainers and certificate programs to help elevate their careers.
That's such a wonderful and really cool opportunity, Rachel, hearing about something like that family code night from so many angles, just the availability of the tools right now and looking at something like Minecraft or even just a different variety of things too, where you can look at building things together and really getting tactile with some of the technology and things like that is so cool to be able to do things like that in a community setting. The
It really
availability,
is.
yeah,
And
go.
yeah, it's really going to be something that is, we hope, exciting and different. And we know, this is something that is up and coming for a lot of different programs. And so really starting to get that youth piece connected at such a young age, especially when it comes to youth in STEM, girls in STEM, wanting to make sure that people know that they have that path or that space that they can thrive in. So we're really excited and looking forward to being able to offer this program, hopefully then on a more regular basis, but having, like I said, a youth and adult come out in the evening, we'll provide dinner, we'll have snacks, we'll make it fun. You'll be coding while also, definitely meeting new people and hopefully learning a lot more about different careers and certificates that are available to you.
Love that. And I think something else too that's really great to see that's evolved in Buffalo is thinking back to I even think back to when I was a kid and was lucky that my dad worked with HSBC and was in tech back then and things like that too. So I was able to see some of those things when I was growing up, but those kinds of things were so employer driven, I guess, and really the onus
Right.
was on the employer to create those types of programs. Now we're seeing community groups like Tech Buffalo creating these things. I'm seeing in local schools and local communities like robotics programs and things like that.
Yeah.
And even like just kind of, build a robot days or things like that where people are able to get their hands on some really cool technology and learn some basics of coding and how different parts work together and things like that. It's really cool, Rachel, to see the evolution of this community perspective and seeing what's coming together to show people what's possible, right? It's really
Right.
incredible.
Right. And that's really what my ultimate goal is to show what's possible, to help you or community members, get to those avenues, to highlight all of the local growth that's happening and taking place here. So many local trainers and organizations that have these programs and are willing and ready and able to help people, complete them successfully. So really making sure that we're getting out there and showing how many incredible organizations there are in Western New York that are doing this really great work. And like I said, even some people may look at this fatherhood initiative pairing and think, "Really, fatherhood initiative, family code night, right? Like
Mhm.
that all ties in. We really can tie it to any community organization that would love to host and that would love to be a part of it because tech is truly everything. And at least we all can agree that coming together and having a fun night of, learning, and for those of us that did play Minecraft, it's definitely something that's a bit nostalgic. So it really, we're hoping will be a good time and a good learning platform.
That's incredible. Really looking forward to that. And you mentioned in there too, just talking about being able to reach out to different communities. Obviously, Northland Workforce Training Center has been great connecting to the east side of Buffalo, and it's been awesome to see all the development and whatnot that's going on over
Absolutely.
there. Really like thinking about communities outside of the city of Buffalo and really getting into Western New York? Like how, I guess how far could this expand? What are kind of the visions for the future of a program like this?
Yeah, I mean, really, the options are endless. Like I'm saying this as somebody who's completely open, understanding that of course there's so much, to Buffalo outside of the city. And we know that there are places that have more complications with access, outside of the city, maybe outside of some of those um, you know, locations that we may think of initially. So we are absolutely open to seeing how far this program can go, seeing, of course, how many community members it can reach and be impactful for. So yes, if this is something where, you happen to be somebody happens to be listening and thinking, "Oh, are we a little too far out?" I say reach out, connect with me. I'm sure we can make sure I get my information out there. So we had the option of working with really any organization within the Western New York area.
That's awesome. It's a really cool, just to kind of think about the future and what could come about, but awesome to hear about some of the initiatives that are coming out this year and some of the opportunities that are coming to Buffalo. You talk about a company like Microsoft that's a tech giant, and really, you think about kind of like the coastal cities and the Silicon Valley and all those kinds of things, and to see the scale of these types of programs coming to a place like Buffalo is really cool. So it's fun to dream big and think about what it could be in the future.
It is very exciting.
For sure. As we start to bring this home here, Rachel, just kind of thinking about all the different people who work together to make this all possible. Want to see if you had any shout outs that you wanted to give to maybe some of those workforce training programs and the tech trainers. Who are some of those people in Buffalo that are making some of this work possible?
Oh, absolutely. I would love to. But first, I wanted to also mention that Tech Buffalo's Power Up Tech program. So, the program focused on engaging college interns with
Yeah.
the work, live, and play model in Buffalo is ramping up again for this summer. So, that's something that we're really excited for. I know my colleagues have been working really diligently at making sure that it's prepared and ready to go. So, it's going to be just an incredible event for interns this summer in our community. But of course, highlighting so many different community partners. I would be remiss to also not mention the Employer Think Tank series, which is happening
Yeah.
on the 15th of this month at 8:30 at WNED Studios. It's going to be a really great conversation on white rage, and there's a wonderful lineup of panelists, and it's really, really exciting to see that taking off more as well. But I would say with all of our local tech trainers, all of our community members, looking at our site, we have them all listed there. So whether that's going to be like your Buffalo Center for Arts and Technology, Trocare, Goodwill, Good Skills program, so many different programs that are constantly taking off. So I don't, happen to know their exact start dates off the top of my head, but if you want, you can go through the Tech Buffalo site and look at all of our partner pages. Those would link you, as well as, again, reaching out if you need a warm intro. I would love to go ahead and make sure that I get you connected, with the right person at those organizations. But there really are just so many different community members, community orgs in Western New York. We really are such like a large community base of so many smaller ones, right?
Mhm.
And I know we say that word again and again and again, but really looking at all that's coming up within the workforce development, it seems to be a really great place that a lot of organizations are starting to focus on and really starting to collaborate with one another. So I'm really excited to see what comes out in 2024 just for the community as a whole, because I think we are all ready for an uplifting year. And so it's exciting to see what we all have going on, and like I said, coming together for each other and for the better of Buffalo.
Yeah. Love it. Big things ahead. It's gonna be a great year. And like you said too, it really is a great community, and everybody's kind of got their community within the community too, right? Depending on where you live or where you work or where you go to school or things like that. There's
Yeah,
so many different communities, and there really is a place for everyone here. And there's a place for everyone in tech here. So really cool to hear some of the programs you've
absolutely.
got coming up here, Rachel.
Thank you
Love it.
again for having me. This was a really great time. And again, please feel free to connect with me, but keep an eye out for our different community conversations. And of course, for our family code nights, think about who you can start inviting. I'm already thinking about, some of the kids in my life that I can try to snag to do one myself. So definitely join us if you're able. Reach out to us over at Tech Buffalo. But thank you, Joe, for having me. I really appreciate it. And I will love to come back again anytime you'd have me.
At anytime, absolutely. It's always a great conversation, Rachel. And last thing before I let you go, though, going to put you a little bit on the spot because I do have to ask you the Be a Lighthouse question at the end of the show, too. Just in the
Sure.
spirit of one of our core values here at Lighthouse, we always like to give shout outs to people who are being the shining lights in our community, helping people in different ways. So wanted to give you the floor and see if there's anyone that you wanted to give a shout out to in particular who's helped you, supported you, or helped you learn something new lately.
So right now, the first person that I would say comes to mind for me is Tiffany Swink from Say Yes. She is leading up the Employer Think Tank series for this next round and has done such a wonderful job really getting all of the different organizations to collaborate with one another, making sure that we're able to run a seamless event. So definitely thinking of her right now as we're leading up to this large event and feeling really excited for the committee, the panelists, and the conversation that's going to take place. Again, I really encourage community members to make it there if they can. It will be a really, really great event, and I'm sure you'll see recordings floating around as well with
Mhm.
some highlight reels.
Yeah. I remember seeing some posts last week. They're looking forward to a really big attendance. I think they're over 150, maybe even starting to push 200 people
Absolutely,
registered
yeah,
for
we
that.
are. I
So
believe we're over 150 registrants at this point, and the more the merrier. So definitely come out. Don't let that hold you up. But it will be a really, really impactful conversation.
yeah, and big shout out to Tiffany right there too for
Yeah,
making it all happen with the team over there.
absolutely.
So Rachel, thanks so much for coming on the show. Always a joy to have you. And like you mentioned, people can go to the Tech Buffalo website if they want to find out more about any
Yes.
of the partners or programs that are coming up.
Absolutely. The Tech Buffalo website will make sure that we're updating our community calendar, where you can also find not only our events, but of course, other events that are taking place in the community, both on a macro and micro level. It's a really great resource. Sign up for our newsletter, get as much information as you can, and really just go ahead and get out there. We're excited to get this year going for sure and looking forward to it. So thank you again. Appreciate you having me.
Yeah, looks great. And we'll drop some links in the show notes here as well for people who want to learn some more about Tech Buffalo. Rachel, thanks so much
Great.
for joining us today. Thanks everyone for
Thank
tuning
you.
in and hope you have a great week. Thanks everyone. Thanks for tuning in to another episode of Live with Lighthouse. Really enjoyed this week's conversation with Rachel, and make sure to check out the show notes if you want to learn more about what Tech Buffalo is up to this year. Really excited to keep the conversations going in coming weeks, and make sure you're subscribed on YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or wherever you get your podcasts to make sure you're up to date on the latest episodes of Live with Lighthouse and get notified when new episodes are available. Thanks again for tuning in, and we'll see you next week.